we have two activities running in parallel. One is actually a huge upgrade project, which with the aim to totally equalize data coverage with voice coverage. So that means a very substantial upgrade in the total Serbian network. At the same time, we believe that it's not enough just to have the technical parameters and measurements. We really need, during this process and also later, to collect the voice of the customer in a very systematic way. So this is something we do by utilizing our great experts, engineers, and actually making them call the customers based on SMSs that the customer have sent to us. There are two things we need to make sure. We need to ensure that we are sending out the requests for input from customers in a way that represents where these customers are. So that means that we need to have a good distribution of where these SMSs are sent across the country. And also based on where we have many customers and where we have few customers. At the same time, we also don't want to bother the customers with too many SMSs, right? So that's why, even though we want to go through the entire customer base, no customer should get an SMS more than once per half year. I would say that we are early on adopters of this methodology. However, Telenor Serbia has been working for several years really to take the customer voice into everything we do. So to collect the input from customers to enhance the services and to see where we need to get better, that is something we have done for years. But now when we take it to the next level, we take it also into the network planning and the network improvement work that we see as a kind of a continuation of a longer journey. But the fact is that we are then not using our great colleagues in call center or on the commercial side. We're actually asking the engineers to be actively involved in this. And that is because we do believe that they can bring something extra to the communication with the customers. So what we will do is that when we then send out a number of SMSs, some of the customers will use this opportunity and they will reply. And then we see, are they very positive about utilizing the network? Are they more neutral, or do they actually have negative experience? And then we make sure we call them back and understand, what is that negative experience? What can we do to improve that? And the fact that an engineer is picking up the phone and is calling to the customer, we believe that they can have a very meaningful conversation. And then we see that there are areas where where there are maybe several customers that are pointing at some improvement potential. And then that is really going into how we prioritize the work. So did we get this idea totally by ourselves? I would say no, because we have I would say, a great advantage of being part of this Telenor group. And in Denmark, they have tested out this concept before. They did it for two reasons. They wanted really to build also a culture, about the customer, to caring about the customer, also on the technology side. I don't see that there is a huge need to build that culture, I would say, in Serbia, because my colleagues on the technology side are very, very, proud of building and maintaining this network. And they talk about it, and they talk to their friends, they talk to their colleagues. They are actively, ambassadors, I would say, on a daily basis. But I think they have something to bring to the conversations with the customers with that experience. And so that is why we think that this is a good way for us to really tap into how the customers see us and utilize that information so that we can every day and every month and every year take one step further to meet the expectations. I think it is quite different based on the feedback from the customers, because it will be very individual feedback. But let me say a few different kind of likely outcomes. for example, if we have customers that have issues with data coverage, or they maybe complain that when I'm sitting in the sofa, I'm in my living room, I am not happy because I can make a call to my mother, but I cannot check the weather forecast, right? Then we will then look into how will the upgrade project that we are currently running, how will that help? Because that will probably help in that situation. And when are we planning to do it? It might not be tomorrow, it might actually be in 2 months, but this is actually information that we are able to give. Then it could be that there's actually a problem in this area, right? That there has been an outage, or there's been some, so that then we can inform the customer about the problem. In some cases we can optimize. I would say there's a lot of, say, different parameters that need to play together to have a good network experience. And we can see that sometimes just by tuning the network we can give a different experience. And then I also believe that there will be cases where we are also maybe planning to build new coverage, build new sites. And that is something, of course, then which is following kind of more a little bit longer process, right? But I don't think there will be like a one-size-fits-all here. The most important is that we are utilizing all this input from the customers alongside all our measurements, and then we get new insight. So we take better choices. Well, now this is actually early days, right? And we are rolling it out. And picking up that phone and calling somebody you absolutely don't know, for some, it might actually be a little bit daunting. We know, for example, for Denmark, that was actually quite a high resistance. However, I have seen my colleagues out there in dialogue with the customers, when we are having our events. And I believe that the colleagues will take this challenge. It might take a little bit while to get used to it, but when you then sit there and actually talk to somebody who is utilizing what you do on a daily basis, it gives meaning, right, to the job you're doing. You know why we're here. So I am 100% sure that this will be embraced in a very positive way by all the colleagues on the technology side. And I hope the customers that are engaging with them will feel this, that will feel that even though maybe these are not professionals, right, in talking with customers or something like that, they have this, there's a genuine passion there to actually improve. So, and I think that will actually, maybe, that will make a difference.